Fly like a gull, soar high on the air. Be strong in your courage when others despair. Never in anger, never in haste. Grow without pride, be never abased. Freedom is yours if freedom you give. To all give it freely, in freedom you'll live. Mountains that stand up tall to the sky tell us no dreaming is ever too high. Dare to climb boldly, brave the high peak. You'll never know failure if bravely you seek. Dare to be different, dare to be free. Dare to roam far like wind on the sea. Fly like a gull, soar high on the air. Be strong in your courage when others despair. Be strong in your courage when others despair.
I'd like to welcome all of you this morning. I am Naya Swami Maria, and this is Naya Swami Ananda. All of you here and all of you viewing online, it's wonderful to be able to share this service today with you. I'm going to read from Rays of the One Light, and these are commentaries by Kriyananda based on Yogananda's teachings. This is week 5, and it is called The Mystery of Avatara, or Divine Incarnation. Truth is one and eternal. Realize oneness with it in your deathless self within. The following commentary is based on the teachings of Paramhansa Yogananda. The Bhagavad Gita in the 4th chapter states, as we saw last week, O Bharata, whenever virtue declines and vice predominates, I incarnate on earth. Taking visible form, I come to destroy evil and reestablish virtue. What is the mystery of this divine manifestation? Great avatars, such as Krishna and Jesus Christ, are born as babies, even as we all are. They take human form and go through normal human experiences as they grow from childhood to adulthood. They eat, they play, they may seem to suffer sickness and disappointment like the rest of us. In what way are they different from other human beings? The important thing to understand is that even as they are like us, so are we also like them. Their realization can be ours too. They come on earth to show us our own divine potential. The difference lies not in the manner of their manifestation on earth, but in the consciousness with which they are born. All things are condensations, so to speak, of the cosmic vibration, Om, described by St. John's Gospel as the Word. Most human beings, however, are unconscious of their divine origin. The avatars, on the other hand, come consciously as manifestations of that divine reality. As the Gospel says in the 1st chapter, and the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. Thus, through Holy Scripture, God has spoken to mankind. Om, Om, Om.
Can I have that book? Can I have that book? Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone. I would like to read a passage from Whispers from Eternity that I think will be very helpful, as they all are. This is entitled Demand for the Opening of the Spiritual Eye to Find God in Everything. At the bottom, at the end of this, Master put, this demand especially should be repeated mentally with deep concentration until the prayer thought becomes fixed in your superconscious by the conviction born of deep faith. So I'd like to now read the demand for opening of the spiritual eye to find God in everything. My eyes are enthralled, O Father, with the beauty of earthly flowers, with life's passing scenes, and with the sailing, silent clouds. Everywhere, all I see hints at thy hidden presence. Open that eye in me, which sees only thee. With that gaze, may I behold thee above, beneath, all around, within, and outside me. Teach me in all things to see only thee. Open in me that eye which beholds everywhere thy hidden but ever subtly reigning wonder. The topic is the mystery of Avatara, and I was thinking of a dear saint, Swami Satchitananda, who used to come and visit Swami Kriyananda in Ananda village often, and he had a little couplet that he would give us. He would say, everyone is an avatar. Who are you? Seems a little funny, but everyone is an avatar. Who are you? This is what Swamiji wrote in this reading, isn't it? That it's not important how different we are from the avatars. What's important is how much we're like them. What's the difference between us and the avatars? Simply put, Swamiji says that it's that the masters come consciously of their divinity and then play the human role in this dream of Maya. But what the aphorism, everyone is an avatar, means is that we come into this world, in the world of Maya, but we're separate than the world of Maya. We're not quite as conscious as the masters, but we'd like to be. We're working on it, and we can attain it. We want to be conscious that we're not the Maya, the attachments, the desires. The problem we have, of course, is that we don't realize we're avatars. We think about being bodies, having a weight, having gray hair and lots of wrinkles, having problems, desires, attachments. We focus on that. And we get entranced by that. And we forget that we are not that. We are infinite. We are beings of love just like the masters. That's important. And when we meditate, we close our eyes to the senses and to the body and the surroundings. And if we meditate deeply, we forget about our egos, our personalities, our desires. And we focus on the light at the point between the eyebrows. But Swami Kriyananda used to often tell us when we'd start a meditation, he'd say, concentrate on the light. Try to realize you are that light. We have a case of mistaken identity here. We think that we're this body with these problems. We're this bankruptcy. We're a father. We're a mother. We're a job. We're a Democrat. We're a Republican. We're a series of beliefs. We're a series of personality problems. We have phobias. We have issues. We don't have issues. We have one problem. We don't remember that we're a part of all that is. And in meditation, Swami would say, try to feel that you are that light. Try to feel that you're some of or all of the 8 aspects of God. Love, joy, peace. When you meditate, try to feel that you are love. You are that light that you see. You're not the disciple looking at the light. You are the light. The disciple is the body and the personality and this little, what Swami Kriyananda called this bundle of self-definitions. We've got this little bundle. Part of our work as aspiring disciples is to clean up the bundle. That's okay, it's good. I'm not saying you have to be, totally there all the time, but we are striving to realize that we are incarnations of God. We are that light. We are the love. We are formless. We're formless beings. And if you can establish that within your consciousness, you'll find it helps you. It helps you to realize, I know when I started on the path, I was a teenager, and it was a foreign concept to me that I'm not going to high school and going to college and getting a job and whatever you're going to be. I'm a being of light. I'm formless. Currently, I'm using this 19-year-old body, but that can change. The body's going to change a lot. It's not going to be 19 anymore. But the point is that we are that light. We are that love. Now, Master gives us specific techniques to realize this reality, to be conscious that we're avatars. One of them, the first one he gives for meditation, is the Hong Sa technique of concentration. It is marvelous. Hong Sa, I am He. I am Spirit. It's a bij mantra. It's a seed mantra. You're planting the seed of vibration that brings the consciousness around to a reality, I am Spirit. If you're Spirit, you're not the body. You're not a man or a woman. You're not a race or an ethnic tribe or whatever we glom onto. You are Spirit. And Hong Sa has that vibration. We practice it. And we practice it without control of the breath. We watch the breath. God is the doer. We're watching. We're the avatar watching this creation, watching this breath, watching this body, watching spirit, formless spirit. That's what we are, Hong Sa. We practice it. Master said you could practice Hong Sa 2 hours a day and be a master. That's not so hard. 2 hours a day? Sure, that's easy. So practice Hong Sa with that. And the consciousness that you're an avatar becomes less distant, less preposterous. It becomes, wait a minute. I could be an incarnation of God. I am an incarnation of God. I'm this being, and I'm animating this little life form. I'm doing my little karma. I'm a father, a mother, a son, a daughter, a businessman. But I am not that. I am Spirit. Playing through this part, animating this part like the avatars. In India, when the avatar has done its life, his life, her life, the disciples give the avatar, tell what was that avatar. So when Lahiri Moshai left the body, his disciples said, this was Yoga Avatar. This was an incarnation of yoga. This was God in yoga. Lahiri's life was that. Shripteshwar left the body. Master said, what we've just seen, this avatar, was Jnana Avatar. This was wisdom incarnated in the human form. When Master left, Rajasi said, this life, Yogananda life, this was Prem Avatar. This was an incarnation of divine love. We are so lucky to be here, so close to the time of the avatars, and to be able to look at them. What did they do? What would love incarnated look like? I used to, when I started on the path, I was really puzzled by how do they behave? What did they do? You know, what did Master do? Did he ride in a car or did he walk everywhere? You know, I had no idea. I was idealistic teenage boy, you know, and I loved the saints, but what did they look like? What did they act like? What did they say? Yogananda gave us the autobiography. He sort of sidestepped talking about himself too much, but still you get an idea of what was it like to come into a body and to hear all these voices speaking Bengali. He spoke all languages. He's the avatar. He's the incarnation of God. He realized, you know, Yogananda said incarnating for an avatar was like putting on a heavy coat on a hot day. It's kind of uncomfortable, you know, it's hot. It's 115 and you put on an overcoat. That's what he said it was like to incarnate. Christ, Buddha, all the incarnations of God, the avatars, they have to come down to this level of Maya in this world. In a sense, we don't have that because we sort of aren't conscious enough to remember fully that we're avatars, but we go the other way and we get out of that hot overcoat as we practice yoga, as we attune to superconsciousness, as we live a dharmic life. So when we practice being avatars in formal meditation, we practice Hongsa, we practice our techniques, Kriya, and we come closer to that idea and the inner realization and the feeling, I'm infinite. I have no boundaries. I don't have limitations. All my problems are in the Maya, but I don't live in Maya. I'm never born. I never die. Illness doesn't touch me. Fire can't burn me. Water can't drown me. I am infinite. I am the incarnation of God. In that sense, everyone's an avatar. Who are you? Feel that reality. When you leave your meditation, try to keep that consciousness. Everything in this universe is an aspect of God's light, shining from behind and through the Maya. Master in the poem Samadhi describes how he vanished the veils of light and shade. The sensory mirage is gone. What's left? Light, love, truth, wisdom. What do we see when we go out into the world? We should see, since we're avatars, light, beauty, truth. So look at the world from that perspective, from up here, not from down here. You're not going to see it. Why are the avatars always happy? Why is Kriyananda always smiling? Because they're looking at the light, not at the bottom. One all-day meditation, the disciples were leaving. Yogananda was there with them. And he said, you have no idea how beautiful you are. Silver light and golden light. And the disciples thought, that's what an avatar sees. That's what we should see. Why don't we look for light? Silver light and golden light all the time. Why don't we look at this building? It took intelligence. It took jnana crystallizing down to engineer what size beams, how many bolts. How do we get the electricity in here? What's that camera going to be made of? How are we going to program this camera image and these pixels to go through that computer? It's wisdom. Down, filtered by Maya, true. Intelligence, wisdom. comes down to intelligence and cunning and smarts and street smarts, true. But the avatars see that the source of all beauty, all truth, all love is God. And it's within their own selves. When you see love between a mother and a father, between brothers and sisters, children, grandparents, boyfriend, girlfriend, love. It's divine love. It's filtered down. Yeah, I know. But the avatars don't worry about the Maya, the degree of Maya. They look at the degree of divine consciousness that's manifest as love, as beauty, as truth, harmony, kindness, calmness, Om. All sound is Om. All music, all voice, song of those birds, sound of wind in the trees, it's all Om. It's filtered down in the Maya to certain vibrations per second, true, but it's all Om. Be an avatar, see that, listen to that, and make it your job all day to see God, feel God. That's why Lahiri Mahashai worked in the Bengal Nagpur Railway as an accountant for years after the satsang with Babaji, so that we would have no excuses. I'm sorry, you've got to add those numbers and they've got to balance. Do it again. Do it again. Get it right. But see the harmony of it. That's the beauty of karma yoga. It's God serving God. It's God cooking these vegetables. It's God chopping these vegetables. You're not in the mood to chop these vegetables. You're not that mood. You're an avatar. You're an incarnation of God. Chop those vegetables with joy. Feel the life force in those vegetables. If you look in nature, what is the intelligence? It's God's wisdom. It's jnana. It's love. Manifest as plants, cell growth. All this, everywhere. God's everywhere, right? We've agreed on that. God's omnipresent. We already have that. No argument. Therefore, what is God playing through this? Where is the light? Where is that connection to the divine? Look for it, you'll find it. Absolutely guaranteed. How do I know? Buddha, Jesus, everyone, Lahiri, Sri Teshwar, Rama, Krishna, everyone, they all agree. It'd be a terrible world if the avatars disagreed. They do not disagree. They all agree. This is the reality of light. I, you, we, one. We are one being. Feel that. Every meditation, Hong Sa. I am spirit. Live in that and look around. And lastly, everyone is an avatar. Therefore, every person you work with, every person you do business with, every person you are suing, avatar. Avatar. There's a spark of the divine. And that distance from the emotional attachment of, I'll get you, you already have them. You're part of them. We're all part of this. It's the way that the avatars lived. And so Master did do everything he did. Lahiri did do all those things. He was an accountant. He went to work. He raised his kids. He had his wife. He provided for them. Sri Teshwar had his properties, had his ashrams. Yogananda, we all know the story. We have the biography that Swamiji Kriyananda wrote. We have the new path. We have a blow-by-blow account of what it was like to be an avatar. If you were an incarnation of love and you lived in Los Angeles, how would you act? Paramahansa Yogananda. That's what we have to do. We have to live where we live. We have our dharma, but we have to play this part with avatar consciousness. We have to be God and we have to look for God. And you know what happens? God is there. God is in everyone, and you see it. That's Kriyananda walking around, and we just watch him, and he'd do amazing things because he saw God. I remember once he was trying to buy a laptop computer, and we went to a store, and this young man was the salesman. He was pathetic. He was so pathetic. I couldn't believe how just slow he was. Just this guy walks in. He wants to buy the computer. He's got the money. He's also got a bunch of, his teams around him, Jyotish and I think Jyotish was there. Anyway, it was a group of us. And this guy wanted a computer. And the salesman couldn't, I don't know. Is it Swamiji, is it available? Yeah, it might be. It finally got to the point where Swamiji goes, now, if I give you the money, can you have someone from that store bring it here? And this young man, and he points to me, formerly young man, he goes, this young man will come tomorrow and pick it up. The guy goes, yeah, I guess I could do that. But there was no judgment on Swamiji's part, because this is an avatar, but he's not conscious of being an avatar, and Swamiji's job was just help him. Like a mother helps a baby, like Hashi helps the kids. Just, come on, here we go. So sweet, so sweet. So, in fact, we bought it. The guy called, and headquarters, by the way, was on Watt Avenue, and we were on, we're like blocks away. This is not hard. But there's no judgment on Swamiji's part. There's no judgment on Master's part. Just, this is an avatar who's not conscious yet. I think I'll help them wake up. And when you wake up with your kid, what do? You kind of rock them a little. You don't push them. You just wake up. You okay? Wake up. It's time to go to school. Okay. Avatar. Be an avatar. Live like that. And, in this community, Master said, let's have world brotherhood colonies. Why? Because a group of people living together, all conscious that we're avatars, are going to be able to support each other. There's no judgment. We're just trying to help each other. And if the person goes off, okay, they'll cool down, and then it'll be time to help them beyond that. It's a wonderful experiment. It's why Kriyananda set out to start the World Brotherhood Colonies. It was part of Master's vision for more conscious avatars in this world. Was to have places where everyone's focused on that, but I'm not giving you an excuse for letting your unconscious co-workers be an excuse to not see them as avatars, because they are. They are incarnations of God. And whatever little part of wisdom you can see them manifest, whatever little part of love or peace or joy they manifest, just take that. That's good. It's a job in the modern world to see the beauty of God behind the behavior of some of the more notorious members of our human family. But the avatar doesn't judge. They just see the light. Because the light's the reality, the Maya is false. It's going away. It's gone. It's not reality. You're not limited to those definitions, because they change. A lot of us have been on this path for 40 or 50 years. We're not 19 anymore. We don't have those problems and those desires. We have new ones. Not as big. Because the focus is constantly, I am spirit. You are spirit. We are spirit. Live in that reality. I want to close with a reading from a new book, How to Achieve Your True Potential, published by Crystal Clarity Publishers. Swami Yogananda. This is from the very beginning. But Paramahansa Yogananda had thoughts that I thought of not giving this talk and just reading this. So I'll just read this and then we'll be done. So Paramahansa Yogananda said, come out of your closed chamber of limitation. Breathe in the fresh air of vital thoughts. Exhale poisonous thoughts of discouragement, discontentment, or hopelessness. Never suggest to your mind human limitations of sickness, old age, or death, but constantly remind yourself, I am the infinite, which has become the body. Above all, cultivate the habit of meditation. This is the inner switch you turn on to connect yourself with the infinite. Hold on to the after effects of meditation by your attention. You will then find that you are a reservoir of power in body, mind, and soul. By constantly holding in mind the peaceful after effects of meditation, by feeling immortality in the body, and by feeling the ocean of God's bliss, Beneath the changeable waves of experiences, the soul can find perpetual rejuvenation. You're all God's if you only knew it. You must look within. Behind the wave of your consciousness is the sea of God's presence. Claim your divine birthright. Awake, and you shall behold the glory of God. Paramahansa Yogananda Jai.